Après V, Codger Biker here, and on to part 6 of this installation, which could be straightforward, but does have a few technical possibilities of difficulty. Removing some of the bolts, I've heard, can be quite difficult, and also there is the replacing of the existing wiring. You don't take it off, but you have to be careful how you put it back together. Oh, and before you can do anything at all, you have to remove the old bash plate. Link above for that. Whoa, so how expensive can a cardboard box be? Your only cardboard box, 50p. This one, £75. That's a joke, I'm only guessing. But this is the size of the box that the kit came in. And as that's been on a really big shelf, I think that speeds up the time so that it's cheaper after a month than it would be if it was a smaller box. It's a new rule. Bigger the box, shorter the time it takes to go cheaper, I reckon anyway. Preparating the bash plate. Bung in the back. For some reason I've got two, look like that. And there's this one goes here, this one goes here. Some bushes, 2 metal bushes, which are in that packet there I think. They call it a spacer. That goes in there, that one's in there. So that's actually the preparation for that. I know that this is the main engine bolt and that I need to use special heat resistant super strength Loctite on this bolt and take it down till it reaches the groove like Madonna, and that will go in from the left hand side. This stuff basically welds it on, it ain't coming off with that, so you only put it on one side, the other side you turn it, so you're basically making it into a bolt like that. Got a bit mad with it really, but anyway, so thread that on. And you go as far as that groove. If it goes in from the left, it says to drive it in. So anyway, I'm going to let that set overnight and make my own high temperature bolt basically. At the other end, when it goes on the bike from the right hand side, you just use ordinary Loctite. It's a 15 unit, and that should tighten it up. But that is what holds the engine in, so critical piece. One has come easily. What about this one? Oh, I think it's come loose. Oh, that one's loose. And that one's loose. The next two that are renowned for being difficult is this one and this one. I thought they were Allen, but it looks like a hex now, so maybe I'll get lucky. Well, it seems to be an 8mm hex, which I wasn't expecting, so maybe that'll be easier. Put it on. You can feel the Loctite, but at least it's coming off. Apparently they've caused a lot of problems, so maybe they've changed the design, or maybe I've misremembered, but that one's come loose. Right, let's try this side. I think the thing with these brackets is not to get blasé about them, because the ones with the Allen, like that one, it'd be so easy to round it off, because I think they've all got to come out, or most of them anyway. Here we go. Yeah, very tight, because I can feel the Loctite, so you can see how an Allen would round off. Right, I'm going to just support the engine, not lift the bike, just support the engine so that it doesn't drop when we take the main bolt out. I'm on paddock stands as well. So just, I've got this piece of rubber there because there's a bolt hanging down, I don't want to break it, the sump plug I think. Should do. Not too much, just enough to hold it. and then need to remove this bolt. Now onto the engine bolt. I have pre-Loctited the left side with some high strength, high temperature, so only one side will now undo, which is that side. So removed the 15mm nut from there. Now the bolt needs to go through that way, so I'm just going to try and tap it through. So that's come out. That is the front engine support bolt, which is the one you need to take out to do that. Anyway, so that's the one that came out, which is a 8mm. It's pre-done.
Yeah, but you sure?
Yeah, it was pre-done, yes. Okay. And I've also put some copper slip on there, or equivalent of it, anti-seize grease on it. The special bolts in there. John's putting some thread lock on the other end, and we'll torque that eventually to.
Click twice now.
Let's move it again. That's it.
because I'm holding it on.
Yeah, I know. Have you got it? Yeah, if you got it. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely it. I just wanted to be absolutely certain there. These are known as the bastard bolts because you can't get them out. Now look, they're hex, aren't they? But they're hollow. There's no Allen. I tried. No Allen goes in them. But fortunately, because they are 8mm, but how tight they are, even though it's the Loctite, people are stripping them when you know the Allen.
Yeah.
I can understand why, because it actually doesn't get any looser as you get it out. So you think you're home and dry, but it's actually only just started. So I think they've changed the design from Allen to hex to help avoid that happening. Right, it's out. Memorise this clip because we're going to have to use one of those later. I've got new ones, but they go.
Was that on the front or the back?
That's what holds the thing on. So
but there's like a little pip on it, so you can't get it on the wrong way around.
They are loose. I've loosened them already. They were the ones that I thought, if anything's going to go wrong.
Yeah, these were the ones.
You know, that's all coming out, so don't worry about it. But at some point, now take the other bolt on. At some point, I've got to carefully decide which cable ties are going and which are staying. But I'm going to use the plan.
I don't like this planning.
No, I know you don't, but that's what's happening. Right, so that's loose now. Yep. Okay. So you see those cable ties, they've got to be cut in a minute, but I don't want to do that yet till I've had a proper look at. Okay, so the next part now is we've removed this bracket. It doesn't say to remove that one, so I'm leaving it on because it's part of the clutch cover with the look of it, or the engine casing. Is we have to reroute this wiring, and there's something here, M.
Well, this is that bit.
Okay.
That's that bit.
Yeah. Anyway, refit the DQS cable ring out. Measure. So basically what this is about, the reason why we're doing this is to take up that slack from that wire there back to the new bracket, which puts that by the engine. Look, this is the important bit. It puts the quick shifter wiring by the engine, which is exposed,
which is why you've got the heat,
and that's why you put a heat cover on, because it's going to be against the engine. So having prepared this bracket, which wasn't easy, but they've gone in, which will go in here, hopefully. I can't really see what the difference is, but there must be a difference. I've got to remove this one by carefully. Okay, that's out there. There's going to be one of those clips on there, isn't there?
Have they given you a new one?
Yeah, they've given two, so probably have to fit that, although it doesn't show it yet. It doesn't show it on the drawing as yet, but it will do at some point. I need to cut that one carefully. Careful now. Let's release that. It moves. There you go. That bit's easy. We've got a piece of heat shield. Oh, it's all right. It's not too bad.
Oh, hang on. It's not.
Yeah, I know.
It's not. No,
It's just a piece of tape.
I just thought it might have nicked it. It just makes,
Could go brittle, couldn't it? I suppose.
it makes sense to have it. If that's going to get hot, it makes sense to have it protected. Put 3 on.
I can do, but let's just worry about that. I think I'll be all right. So, heat shield, cable tied. That says just the third cable tie. I agree. I'm going to put that in there. I'm just going to cut that one. So the bracket's in, not tightened up, and then we've got to work out what to do with this wiring at the back, because it creates a bit of slack here that we need to make sure can't catch in anything. And there are instructions. We're just trying to figure them out. But this part, I'm happy with. So we've done our wiring. There we go. Everything as per the book. But more importantly, are you happy with that? Push that in there. Got it in straight away before.
You just clip.
Got a bit of an angle on it, that's why it's sort of gone into the other side's gone into the well. That's the back of it. That's inside. Now, I think it must go there and not there. I don't think it would work there. Definitely think it should go there. What do you think?
I think that might be right.
Yeah, and then the bolt with the thread on it, because that's later on the bars will go on it. Silicone on the rubber, grease on the thread. Not tightening it up yet, because it might have to come off yet again, who knows. You know, when we were having coffee, I said this was going to be a nice straightforward one. So it doesn't go between one of them and between the other one, yeah. So I'm pretty sure that it's that. I'm not absolutely certain, but that's what I think. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
So all I need to do now is secure this and I'm home and dry.
Da-da-da. Quite a long thread.
That's it. Right, so that still moves. That's not tight yet. Oh, God, we're nearly ready to fit the bash plate. It's only been 3 weeks. Now at this point, you might notice that I've fitted an extra guard that is a Chinese-made thing that fits the existing crossbar. I am surmising, as I have seen pictures, that Ducati has modified this to protect the cylinder head with their own guard, but as you noticed, it threads into the crossbar, so they must change that as well. I don't have either of those pieces, so I'm going to give this Chinese piece a go. It's quite tight, but I think it's okay. I was a bit dubious about it, to be honest, but it seems to have been okay since it's been on. I can't recommend it. I'm just trying it for myself. That's the black part going in there. I believe the reason Ducati have introduced this part is because they've had some warranty claims for the paint coming off cylinder heads. Hardly surprising given how short the front mudguard is, but then again, it is a sort of pseudo dirt bike. So, I'm going to stick with it for now, see how it goes. I've got Loctite on these bolts, which thankfully are not Allen's, into the cylinder head. What I'm going to have to find now is a bolt to go in here. Only one way to find out. Offer up the bash plate, please. Right, they go on the inside of there, and be careful, because the one thing that has just caused us half an hour of antagonism is that they're silver, and you can spot them straight away because they're silver, and there's only 4 silver ones in there. But what is also worrying is that I know quite a few people on the forums have said parts are missing from this kit, so you're always on tenterhooks as to whether it's actually going to go. So what do you reckon, John? Loctite on those?
I would.
So we're going to loosely, don't tighten them up, we'll loosely fit them because we've got to find out what goes in here. But we are, well, we're 60% of the way, we get there, aren't we? In theory. So do you want to do your side first and I'll hold it.
Do you want to put Loctite on then?
Or I just put it on as you go because you're going to have to pull them out.
Fell off.
Yeah, it's not really in the grand scheme of things that important. Right, that's Loctited. Hey, do you know what? If we had an Allen key that fitted them, that'd be, oh, look at that. 4mm. I'm not tightening it, but I am Loctiting it. So they're threaded, aren't they, those aluminium hangers? There's no...
They are. Can I do all that? Once again, they're not tightened up, but they're...
And we've got, look.
Take me flop back.
Look. We've got a head protector.
Oh, very good.
Just need to find a bolt for that. Right, should we tighten it up then?
Can do.
Reckon?
Yeah.
Any other
Can't see any reason why not.
things? Oh, it's symmetry, so I'm going to tighten this front one first. That's on a spring clip, so it should be alright. And then I'm going to do this back one here. You haven't got one of those?
No.
You haven't got one, I have. Again, it's into a spring clip with a squashed washer, so it doesn't need to be overly tight. I think it's 5 Newton meters. Don't quote me on that. If you can find it in the instructions, good luck to you. Now I'm going to tighten my 2 side pods. They've got Loctite on, so you got to do your 2.
Have you done both?
Yep. We haven't missed a bolt, have we?
I don't think so.
Right, you ready?
Yeah. Do you want to try it on this
You
side?
do that one. You shouldn't have to hold it, yeah, that's it. Done it?
Yep.
Shall we call that a day for today?
Yeah, go on then.